So with BPD in relationships, your symptoms heighten. And for me, it don't matter what kind of relationship, familial, platonic, romantic, my symptoms amplify in all of my one-on-one. Okay, so I made a past video about how I would navigate relationships, but in this video I want to talk about like the stages of borderline personality disorder while being in a relationship. So the first stage is like the idealization stage. So you just meet somebody, you're extremely attracted to them, and you begin to like idealize them and like put them on a pedestal, like, oh my gosh, like this is like the one. And I think I talked about it in my past video. Like for me, I've always felt like a soulmate connection with every single person that I've ever dated. Like, oh my gosh, like this is my person, like we have to get married. I think after a while I stopped doing, I always do it. Like, don't get me wrong, like I always do it. But I think one thing that had started to help me was like dating people that didn't live in the same city as me. And you know, because I could, even though I would still go through that phase of like idealization and like picturing our entire life together, the maladaptive like daydreaming, the limerence, it would be easier for me to still go on about my day and like not spend so much time thinking about that person, because they weren't here. So I wasn't spending all of my time with them, you know? So I still was able to like function. I know that like another thing that I would do in the idealization stage is like I would overshare and like tell them like, oh, like I feel like I'm not easy to like communicate with, like, and I'm not fucking lying, you know, like I just over express things that I feel, and like overshare like about past trauma and like, oh, I'm a difficult person, I'm this, I'm that. And I honestly, like, even like in my most recent situation I did that, and like I swear to y'all, like I think about it sometimes and I'm just like, the shame kicks in. I'm like, why were you like this? But then you also have to have like that compassion for yourself and be like, I didn't know that this is what was going on. I just thought that's who I was, and like that was like a normal thing. That shit is not normal. And it's actually, to me personally, like it's not okay. I feel like it's really toxic and like unhealthy. But I swear if I could do it all over again, I would have just kind of like just relaxed, you know, just relax and just kind of, you know, not put people on a pedestal and like idealize them. But you know, moving forward, I can just kind of give myself like that grace to just relax and chill. But I will say that one thing that did help me was beginning to date people that didn't live near me, different states, different cities. It just gave me an opportunity to get over that first stage of like obsession and like limerence, and like let it pass and like actually see like a person for who they are, type of thing. Okay, so like stage 2 is like over time, like the idealization and the infatuation, like it begins to fade, and the relationship will begin to like mature and stuff like that. And then on the BPD person side, the anxiety and like fear of abandonment will begin to come out. So it's like just the hypersensitive reactions to every little thing that they do. And honestly, I didn't even like, I do this, I have always done this. I've literally always done this throughout all of my relationships, but getting a diagnosis made me like understand it a little bit more. And it's actually very draining. I'm pretty sure not only to the BPD person, but like to the non-BPD person as well. It's draining to like always be like triggered by like the smallest things, because you feel like, oh, you said like this one small thing, or like they didn't text you back for like hours. Like for me personally, like I don't really trip about not being texted back, because I also have ADHD, so like in my mind it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I don't really be giving a fuck, to be honest. I be having other shit like distracting me anyway, so like the texting thing don't really bother me unless it's like a little bit too fucking long. Then it's like, okay, let's reel it back in, like where's you at? But like I'm the type of person, I can go all day without talking to you, and then we just talk at night or like in the morning. Like I'm cool with that. Because I mean, we got shit to do. But I know that it's not like that for everyone. But also like little small things like a change in the tone, like that should just send me like alerts through my body that'll be like, bitch, you're in danger. Like that's literally how it feels, like, bitch, you're in danger, this person is about to fucking leave you. And I just get really hypersensitive, and I just like begin to like kind of draw back. I'm saying all this shit in lieu of me like working on these things. I'm not saying it like these are things that I'm consciously like doing and like not trying to move beyond them, because I am. Another thing I will say is that people talk about how it's basically kind of impossible to be having BPD if you're not working on it. And another thing that I want to talk about with BPD is like that major fear of abandonment can be mistaken for your fucking intuition. And you really have to like be able to be in fucking therapy and really be working on yourself, even if you can't afford therapy, because you will really think in your mind that somebody is like doing you the fucking worst when you're not around, and that's literally not what the fuck is going on. BPD people do have a tendency to choose people who are fucking terrible for them, mostly like narcissists. I done had my fair share, bitch, okay? And it's like my body loved the chaos. But I'm not there no more. I do like calm shit, but my mind still does play tricks on me, like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna leave me. And then like you'll go, stage 3 is like the testing stage, when you start to feel like suspicious of like the person wanting to like end the relationship. It's like you can literally have no fucking evidence of this shit other than like a feeling that your body is like, okay, it's a little bit too fucking safe here. let's really see if they like you. And you start to test them. Like for me, that looked like, you know, like I could say like my most recent time, like I just, it's so shameful. I don't even want to fucking talk about this, but for the sake of bringing us all together and like everybody not feeling alone, just being like, you know, like, hey, are you like cheating? You know, like I kind of really feel it, like I can't sleep, like, you know, those type of things. And they just like, girl, no, girl, you know, like I love being with you, like, you know, that type of thing. And it's like that reassurance type of thing, you know. And that brings me to like the next stage where I just continuously like ask for reassurance, like, oh my gosh, do you love me? Like, you miss me? Like, I probably like overly like do it, but it's really just me pulling for like reassurance. And like, you know, it's like, oh my gosh. And it's like you constantly need like that dopamine hit of like knowing whether a person really likes you or loves you and like doesn't want to leave you. And I don't know, like I feel like for me, what I'm really trying to do in my life is like keep myself fucking busy, because I also got ADHD. Like when my mind is distracted, when I got other shit going on, I don't be giving a fuck. Like, I got other shit going on, you got other shit going on. That's really the space I'm trying to get to, like, where I just have, my life is so fulfilling and so amazing to where, like, I'm not even thinking about if they're gonna leave me, you know? Stage 5, when someone with borderline feels like they haven't reached, like, their desired security in a relationship, they're just gonna end it. I've done this a lot. I have done this with people that have really, really loved me, and I've broken a lot of trust, and, like, it's really fucking sad, you know? I kind of see myself entering that territory a little bit now, but I really do my best to, like, you know, communicate. It's really hard for me, so what I try to do is, like, if something triggered me, I will hold it in and I check with myself first, like, maybe, like, you know, this is something, but if it's like really bothering me, I'm gonna bring it up. And I feel like I kind of hold stuff because I'm like, to me, I feel like I'm tripping, you know, like deep down inside, like on the surface level, I feel like, okay, like I'm tripping, but deep down inside, I'm literally fucking struggling to believe that you actually care for me and like want to be with me and love me. And yeah, and it's like the 6th stage is like when you do finally end it, you start to just think those negative thoughts about yourself. It's like, okay, like I feel so worthless, like obviously I don't deserve this because I can't even fucking open my mouth to communicate what it really is that I want. And you just ruminate in those thoughts, and like you really have to work on like being able to communicate. I know that it physically is painful to communicate, but especially for my quiet BPD girls, it's painful as fuck to communicate, but it really saves you and your relationship for real. So yeah, I just want y'all to know, like, these are things that like I am working through, but it is very heavy and very hard, but it's possible to get through. But I will say that I am learning how to talk more and communicate more, and it's very difficult for me. It may take me a while to say things, but at least like I am learning to like open my mouth. I had a moment last night where I was like, you know what, give yourself a pat on the back, because even though all of these things are like new to you and it's hard for you, you're still trying. Like, you know, you're giving yourself, you're putting in the effort to want to do better. And sometimes your better is not going to be good enough for people, and that's okay. But know that your progress is your progress, and it means a lot to you. I did not talk about splitting in this video, but if y'all do want me to talk about that, like, and what that looks like for me and like what I am doing to like overcome that, put it in the comments and I will definitely talk about it and go more into it.